Hey everybody, Peter Soros here with realestateskills.com. Today I've got a great interview with one of our students from San Antonio, Nathan. Nathan just closed not one, but two wholesale deals, making just over $8,000. I'm really excited to bring this story to you, so let's dive right into it. Hey Nathan, how's it going?
Going very well, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We've been waiting for this day. We knew this would happen.
Yeah. Patience is one of my virtues.
That's good. That's definitely necessary when running your own business. So we're all super stoked. Told everybody we're going to be doing an interview with you, and everyone's like, "Yeah, finally!" We got him in because we've all been rooting for you. We've been seeing your just commitment and just the way you've been in the community, very supportive and positive, helpful of all the other students. So we could see that you were getting the information and the knowledge. It was just a matter of just pushing through, and eventually here we are, closing two deals. I know you closed a one before, a little one, but these two were like the big ones that I think really kind of, um, I think meant a lot more to you. I think this time. So
Definitely.
but let's start off. Tell us a little bit about you. What were you doing before you got into real estate skills or real estate in general? Like, tell us a little bit about Nathan and where you're coming from.
Sure. I've been in San Antonio all my life, and my career has been and still is video production. More corporate videos, a lot of documentary stuff,
Hmm.
events. Here in town for a lot of businesses, organizations. So,
Hmm.
well over 25 years doing that, and I enjoy that work, and I still do. Um, but it's flexible to a degree, kind of
Hmm.
goes project by project,
Yeah.
and so that's great because it allows me to do another business such
Hmm.
as this wholesaling endeavor. And wife and kid,
Hmm.
have a 4-year old,
Hmm. Nice.
COVID baby, as they say. So also that's one of my main motivations to that to kickstart this business and just kind of help get some more income coming in, just
Mhm.
thinking about the future and family growth and things of that nature.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's great that you have that kind of a background where you do have the time that you can kind of fill in the gaps with this other stream of income. Doesn't really take you away from your main source of income. And again, it's flexibility. With having kids and all that. Is I get it. Same with me. I think when I did my first deal, I think my son was about 6 or 8, something like that. So and it's great that not only can you teach him the video stuff. I'm trying to get my kid to do the video stuff. I used to do photography, video, graphic design, and we'll see if he's interested. But the real estate thing, that's always something we can always pass down to them. So that's always a huge plus, and always great to see you pushing forward with that and making that a priority. And again, it's a need to have. It's something that really puts that fire under us to really get this done. So thanks for sharing that. That's you know close to my heart too. So
I feel you. I know a lot of parents out there, I'm sure, have similar motivation.
hmm
Um, and just quickly, last thing, I also perform in bands. I sing part time with bands. I'm like a weekend warrior vocalist on stage as well. And also, in case you notice me winking or twitching a lot,
uh-huh.
I have a Tourette's. I have
uh,
a mild case of Tourette's. So
Gotcha.
especially when
Okay.
I get excited, you'll see my facial
Okay.
ticks going.
All
So
right.
don't be alarmed
All right.
if
No
you see that.
worries. No worries. Cool. Well, that's cool. I mean, I didn't even know that about you. I mean, I have a background in music too. I went to singing school for a bit, so we got more to talk about, Nathan.
Certainly.
Awesome. So prior to real estate skills, did you have any real estate experience at all?
Other than purchasing my own residences,
Hmm.
um, no, no, um, no experience. Yeah,
Okay.
I actually heard of some things through one of our clients. Actually, we did videos for he's a motivational speaker, but he's just a local investor who built his empire,
Hmm.
so to speak, and he had mentioned wholesaling things, and he would send me his courses and things of that nature for many years, and now this gentleman is doing like apartment complexes and syndications and things like that. So that's kind of, it was like there, like the option was there for me, like to learn more about it
Mhm.
if I took the time to go in, but I never really dove into it until, like I said, the last couple years.
Got it. Yeah, that's what I was kind of leading what to my next question was like why real estate specifically? You know, everyone else is like doing drop shipping, crypto, stocks, or other
Mhm.
little things to try to get into some businesses. But I guess you had a kind of a connection through your work of someone else doing real estate. So that was kind of like that was a thing that I assume that kind of lit that light in the brain, seeing what they were doing.
Definitely, and yeah, during, again, like several people, during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
people were looking for online businesses or things to do, affiliate marketing,
Mm-hmm.
creating a Pinterest page and trying to do affiliate marketing. I did kind of try that for a little bit, um, and seeing people on YouTube, different ideas of side businesses, side hustles. Uh, but yes, the one that seemed the most interesting, the most legitimate, so to speak, was this real estate avenue,
Mm-hmm.
a wholesaling, like a summary. I got like this wholesaling brochure from this client of ours,
Mm-hmm.
and he offered like some coaching and things of that nature, and actually invited me to a multifamily seminar he had,
Okay.
which I know was way over my head at the time, but I still went just
Yeah.
to get in the space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's kind of interesting though, these confluence of forces. My boss, even in my production job, I mean, he actually gave us all this copies of the book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind,
Mm.
Harvey something,
Okay.
Harvey Insky, or anyway, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and just kind of like it just, that was more of like a mentality sort of thing,
Mhm.
taking control of your finances and your attitude about money,
Yeah.
more philosophical things, and
Mhm.
didn't really mention real estate per se, but like this, it was just like at the same time in my life that was in front of me, as well as this option to learn more about real estate investing. Uh, and then again, through searching online for things, and I came across Alex Martinez's video, RAS, on YouTube.
Nice, nice. Yeah, it kind of all ties in because you know the first part of the whole program is about mindset and a lot of that because as we all know, that can be the biggest block that's keeping us from success sometimes and from growing. I know you were, you know, really shooting to get a deal done. You were kind of hitting some roadblocks. Tell me a little bit about, you know, kind of the challenges you were facing and then kind of what helped you get through those challenges.
Definitely. I have the real estate contract right above me on my pin board there. So I was referencing that.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I joined last year,
Hmm.
and, you know, uh, devoured the course pretty quickly and everything, and kind of
Hmm.
felt like I was getting a handle on it. And yeah, I did come out firing, making offers
Hmm.
through last summer. And the obstacles, I guess, at the time were just simply just not accounting enough for repairs.
Hmm.
Got a couple of things under contract at too high, way too high of a price. Things I didn't know. I mean, the
Hmm.
first contract I got had like it was an older home, so looked good visually. I mean,
Hmm.
I understood it was needing some repairs, but like the main thing was an old electrical. It
Hmm.
had like the old knob and tube wire, like the original electrical from a 1960s home,
Hmm.
and foundation cracks and things that I
Mm.
didn't account for until I got there. And then I was like, kind of, oh, what do I do now with this? Like, I know it's gonna, so that was my very first one. I had to let that one go. And then the second one was even a more distressed property, just a really big job, like,
Mhm.
6-figure rehab, and
Oh, okay.
had an ADU in the back.
Mhm.
And, just once got feedback from the buyers, it was just like nowhere close to what I had under contract at. On the second one, I did try to get it negotiate, at least tried to negotiate down with the seller, but it was no dice. So those two had to, that was kind of back to back, or within a few weeks of each other. Had to cancel those contracts. So that was a bit of a bummer at the time, but
Mhm.
I still knew I was learning, and I was still enjoying the process,
Mhm.
and obviously still meeting buyers all throughout that time. And since then, I've continued to build my buyers list.
Gotcha. So it was just a matter of just really just getting tighter with your with your analysis and just with your
Mhm.
numbers, and that was basically it. And then just, you know, everything aligned is was sounds like that was kind of more or less the case. Was it was something just kind of just tightening the screws a bit? Was there anything else going on in terms of, maybe you were just missing another piece in terms of, you know, I don't know, were you submitting enough offers? Was that something maybe time wise you didn't have enough time, or just like tell us a little bit more about, why
Sure.
you think that was the case?
Yeah, so learning how to get better repair analysis,
Mhm.
better ARVs, knowing the difference between this neighborhood versus that neighborhood, even if
Mhm.
even if it's within a half a mile, like the difference between newer build area and like historic home type of area.
Mhm.
Um, that's something that came into play in the second one I had under contract, and time as well. It took me a while to build up to get those to build up enough offers to where I could get those accepted contracts,
Mhm.
even though they were too higher price. At least it took me. I eventually hit 5 a week, I believe, for a while. 5 offers a week submitted,
Mhm.
but it was. But again, with my job, it kind of comes in waves. So I had like
Sure.
an opening for a while, and then once those first two didn't work out, then I kind of got busy towards the end of last year, and then my offering numbers went down, substantially,
Okay.
and I kind of just, but I kept at it, here and there.
Mhm.
Um, Started, trying to JV with other wholesalers and things of that nature, and just expanded my network.
Mhm.
But even then, like those, come to learn, a lot of wholesalers get as well get stuff
Yeah.
at not good prices. So
Yep.
even those attempts never panned out too much because they were just the numbers didn't work. And eventually, I had to come to the conclusion that okay, I need to stop trying to push other people's that I don't really know really, really well, push other people's properties that just aren't working. And
Right.
like, it's kind of like making, and then you don't want to burn out your buyers on a bunch of bad sends,
Exactly. Mhm.
and then they stop listening to you because like you're always sending them stuff that's not even close to a deal.
Right. What about the program helped you out the most, would you say?
Definitely the access to the community 24/7.
Mhm.
I mean, being able um, to go on there, just I'm on there every day. I look
Yeah.
and check out the posts and
Mhm.
just to see new topics or something I hadn't thought of yet,
Mhm.
and then to lend what I do know to kind of reinforce what I know. It's that phrase.
Yeah.
We teach what we have to learn ourselves.
Yeah.
Something like that nature. So,
Uh-huh.
so the more I could like reply to someone, it's like this is the process to find a buyer, or this is how
Mhm.
the comps work. It kind of reinforced in my mind. Yeah, that's that I know that I'm locking in on that technique to be able to analyze a property. So having that access 24/7 to that portal definitely was one of the main things. Of course, the fact that you guys provide feedback on everything
Mhm.
very timely is great. The Q&As, I
Mhm.
was on there, especially when I was learning early on, and I was
Mhm.
on there every week.
Mhm.
The live feedback to those Q&A sessions, I think, was very beneficial, and the
Yeah.
fact that I'm still part of it, a year later, and I can still have this support and the ability to meet other wholesalers, which I have. I've connected with other people
Yep.
here locally and around
Mhm.
Texas, trying to collaborate on some deals here and there. And I think that's going to pay off in the future as
Mhm.
well to meet other people that learn the same methods as I have through RES. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. We've always kind of noticed you in the comments and posts, or posting or responding to other students, and we're all like, "Yeah, Nathan gets it. Like he's got the right mindset for it. He gets the process, and it was just a matter of time. Like, okay, what's holding him back? We were kind of like, okay, he's gonna get a deal sometime soon. We know it because he knows what he's
Hmm.
doing. We can tell,
Hmm.
So we were all rooting for you. And then once we chatted a little bit. You said it was just like a seasonal thing at the moment, working off till start of the new year. You were really going to hit it hard, and we saw it. And here you are, three deals closed this year, right?
Yes, yes. 3 deals closed, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and again, things that hold me back was my ability, I guess, going back to specifically timing things, which other
Mm-hmm.
folks can relate to, is that even when I did have time, it was usually in the evenings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the critical time to talk to realtors or listing agents, right, is more like, at least here I've learned
Mm-hmm.
in San Antonio, it's 10 a.m. to 3 or 4 p.m., kind of the meat of the day.
Mhm.
You can send text, of course, and emails, but like when you're actually gonna get someone on the phone and kind of get quickly onto to be able to submit an offer is like during those times. And I was always busy. That's the hardest time for me, like to
Sure.
make to make those discovery calls. I guess is one of the biggest
Mhm.
challenges, even right now.
Mhm.
That's why this JVing, the last 2 deals I did was a JV deal where
Mm.
I didn't have to do that portion. I was more on the disposition side and finding the buyer, which I guess is
Mhm.
my buyer. I'm more likely to get a response from a buyer after hours than an agent. In
Sure.
other words,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So let's dive into your two deals at least a little bit. So both
Mhm.
in San Antonio, right?
Correct. San Antonio,
Uh,
southwest side. Yeah.
tell us how you how these leads came to you. Always like
Mhm.
to know, did it cost you any money to get these leads? How you found them, and just kind of the timeline and how things progressed.
Yeah. So this is an important thing. That these deals both came to me again through my now JV partner
Hmm.
was is an agent, and this is an agent that I called on last year, last summer when I first started RAS, first started wholesaling listing properties. I called on a property that she had under contract that looked like a distressed properties to a degree, and that one didn't work out. But her seller didn't want to deal with investors after all. But I stayed in touch with her, and we had another potential JV deal that only fell we would have happened is would have fell through due to too many liens on the seller's house,
Mm.
undisclosed. So it just got to be unviable as a deal. Um, but we stayed in touch. Pretty much, I stayed in touch. Like
Yeah.
she's really busy. She does
Sure.
other
Hmm.
businesses, but I would check in every once in a while. And then so the beginning of June, I was just trying to make something happen. So I said, "Oh, let me check her out."
Hmm.
I'm gonna use and I'm using aliases for the sake of this conversation.
Sure.
So I called up Brandy
Hmm.
and just say, "Hey, just let you know I'm here. Still have buyers.
Hmm.
You got anything going on?" And then she called me back like right away. It's like, "Oh, thank God you called me because yes, I need help." Like that was like her first thing. Like, "I need help, Nathan. I had these 2 leads." Uh, and to her, she didn't call them leads. I have 2 sellers because they're going to her because she's an agent, but
Hmm.
they understand that she's going to do this as on the investment side,
Hmm.
not the traditional route. Um, so so yeah, the leads came through her, and this was a family that wanted. They had 2 separate houses. There was a mother and daughter and family
Okay.
in one house, and then they wanted to move in with their aging parent, the mother and her spouse, and they're gonna cohabitate on a larger home
Hmm.
where the mother or grandma could have an ADU or some separate detached living unit. So they're
Hmm.
they're looking for a new place to live. So they got to sell both of their houses basically.
Hmm.
So now 2 houses to sell, and they're motivated to do it quickly because they already had eyes on a house that they wanted to purchase.
Got it. Okay.
And so they knew because they needed a quick sell that they were willing to go to an
So
investor at
okay.
a discount for that
Got it.
reason.
Wasn't super distressed or anything like that.
They're not super distressed. The main motivation was timing
Timing.
to be able to get a quick close. Um, the the uh, the newer home, the nicer one, call it Purple Creek on Purple Creek. 2016 is a turnkey home. I mean, it's well maintained, 4.2 in a newer
Hmm.
neighborhood. Again, 2016 build. Um, yeah, so that one's nice. That's where the younger family lived. The parents' home was older but very well maintained. They already had a newer roof, HVAC,
Hmm.
water heater. That one again was rentable as is. Just needed some updates as an older home,
Hmm.
but nothing distressed about either one. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So not whole lot of rehab needing. It was more of like a timing issue. You had initially made the contact with this agent a year ago on market, correct?
Correct. On a
Yeah.
listed property that she was listing for a seller. Yeah.
Got it. And then just kept in touch. And by you keeping in touch, you came in right at the right time, a perfect time, it sounds like.
Yep.
And then bringing it to your buyers and all that. How was that? How was the process like? Were they pretty gung ho at the first sight of it, say, "Hey, yeah, we're definitely interested," or um, basically, was this easier than you thought, or was it harder?
Mm.
'Cause I know you did that first one that was, you were kinda like, "Oh, this one was kind of a pain," or whatever, because there was a special situation with that one, but,
Mhm.
um, regarding these 2, how do those compare in what you thought how difficult or how easy this was going to be?
I guess about what I expected. There were some definitely things that some challenges that popped up. Basically, the first challenge is that the fact that these need to go to buy and hold investors, not
Okay.
as opposed to flippers, because
Mhm,
they're turnkey. Like I said, the newer home on Purple Creek 2016 build. I mean, that one's like as turnkey as you get.
mhm.
The buyer that ended up inspecting it, cited like caulking around the toilet,
Yeah.
and
Right,
touch up paint,
right.
that a garage light that was out, a light bulb, that kind of stuff. So,
Mhm,
but still, coming to find out, I knew that I had less buy and hold buyers than flippers, but still, even my buy and hold buyers that I brought it to were still like, oh, we still want it at our 75, 70% at our flipping number, to give them
mhm.
that cushion that they
Yeah.
could just sell it quickly if they needed to. And that kind of surprised me. I'm like, I was
Mm.
like, but I have comps that you can rent this at the 1%.
Yeah.
It's gonna appreciate. It's a nice area. So I got some pushback, and then I was like, man, it's still a little bit. We still got under contract a little bit too high, maybe. So it just took a little more time than I thought to find the buyer
Mhm,
for that newer home. The older one, on Green Valley, got a lot more interest, but even the fact that it was clean, the neighborhood, it's an older neighborhood, so it was just a little bit less desirable neighborhood
mhm,
than I would have thought for a lot of buyers. So, again, I was getting offers, like under what we had it under contract for, like more. Uh, well, I say we had it like we give the seller 105K on the older home. That was what
mhm,
we promised the seller. But people were coming in below that, even wanting to get it under six figures.
mhm,
So, it just took some time to find eventually the buyers that would kind of get us the number that we needed. On the Green Valley, we did have to negotiate down,
mhm,
which I can get to that when we get into the details of that story. But
mhm.
so these two things are happening simultaneously.
Right.
So to
Mhm,
kind of go back to the premise of the first question, the first one, the newer home, was the easier one to find. The first buyer that actually showed interest and sent someone to
mhm.
walk it, their inspector, they're the ones we ultimately sold it to.
Okay.
On the older home, the Green Valley, that one took several attempts and several showings to finally get that one under contract. And ironically, that one ended up closing first. The newer home,
Took longer.
those headaches and obstacles came through the whole title
Mm,
process and the title company,
mhm.
and just bottlenecks, and that they ended up closing almost a week after we had expected. Um, so yeah, it was a bit of a roller coaster that the last month. And during that period, my partner was out of town for the early part of the deal, and then
Mhm.
I was out of town for the last part of the deal.
Got it.
So, but it was good that we both were able to pitch in and kind of jump in on the communications on both fronts to make sure they both ended up progressing and getting to the finish line. Yeah.
For the first cash buyer, was it someone you already had on your list that you already had a relationship with? And then was it the second one you didn't wasn't on your list? Or tell me a little bit about that, 'cause I wanna.
The buyers.
Yeah.
Yes. So on Purple Creek, the newer home, the 2016, um, the buyer ended up being a new buyer. I found a new buyer basically
Okay.
by going through online, looking at Facebook groups,
Mhm,
which I was doing, every day. The different groups that several here in locally and around Texas, and
mhm,
someone posted like as like wanting turnkey properties specifically.
mhm.
So I was like, yes, thankfully. You could tell by the way they phrased it, you could tell they're like some kind of national buyer, because they're like buying in Texas,
Sure.
Georgia, Florida, et cetera,
Got
et
it.
cetera. And I actually submitted through that email, and kind of forgot about it, because it was like 3 or 4 days later when they
Mm,
finally responded, like hey, yeah, Nathan, that Purple Creek property, we'll take it at your asking price. We're asking 179K on that one.
mhm,
I was like, okay, great. And then and then that communication started. They sent their inspector out to walk it,
mhm,
and then they came back and they did want a little bit of a reduction.
mhm.
We negotiated, ended up being 176K, so knocked down by a few K.
Uh-huh.
Um, and at that time, then I ended up talking to that person, the guy who posted on Facebook, his boss, and then come to find out they're brokers for a buyer.
Oh, okay.
So that's what made it also a little more interesting. Another just like a layer
Mhm.
of communication and stuff. And I mean, they sound professional and everything. And I talked to Lady Marcia, and we had several conversations, and started texting her directly instead of the first guy. So now I'm
Mhm.
like a layer more direct to the end buyer. And she assured me that she's like, no, we are the end buyer. We're brokers for the end buyer. Like, these are
Mhm.
big national buyers,
Mhm.
yada yada yada. And but still, they were slow. And she even told me like, but they're just slow on signing the documents,
Yeah.
slow on submitting the EMD, which gave us a
Mhm.
headache for a few days. We're like we sent, they sent their own assignment contract, so I didn't have to use ours. At first I
Mhm.
sent ours, but like, no, we'll send you theirs because they require that they use their title company.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so we had to also switch. We already had open title
Right.
locally with my partner's favorite title company, so we had to transfer it to theirs. And they're just, again, they're a national big title company with who knows how many deals they're doing, so they're just very slow.
Mhm.
Uh, you
Gotta
know,
go through
getting
corporate, all that kinda stuff, yeah.
Yes, yes, and that's what presented the obstacles on that deal, was just
Mhm.
dealing with all that. And they would say, "Oh, we need this form from both wholesalers, and now we need this form from the seller," and then not their fault is the seller also turns out they had an undisclosed lien.
Ah, okay.
They had solar panels. Oh, that's the other thing. What made it attractive house is they had solar panels,
Okay.
so that was good for a lot of buyers. But those solar panels would be paid off at closing. So no
Got it.
problem. So we allotted for that. But when this other HUD lien came up,
Mm.
apparently the seller didn't tell my partner that they had modified the loan or something like that nature. So basically that wiped out all their gains they were going to get from the
Oh.
sale of the house. So now it's like, can you close without having to pay anything? Because once you got through all this bureaucracy and red tape, and do they have any municipal liens? No. Any other HOA stuff? No.
Mhm.
Uh, they were going to actually have to pay to close,
Yeah.
which was a big shock to them. And again, that's on my seller's side, or sorry, my partner's side. God bless her. I mean, she was dealing with them directly, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's
And
tough.
all that drama of them, like, what? Now we're not gonna get any money when we close this thing, and
Mhm.
and they're trying to find their new house, and like,
Yeah.
they're gonna
Oof.
close in time to get the new house. So we worked it out to the best of our ability to where they could close with just zero, just walk away. You don't pay anything, you don't get
Mhm.
anything, but at
Mhm.
least all your liens wiped out. You get to move on to the new house. That required me and my partner taking a little bit less assignment fee, and but at least I convinced the broker as well to take a little bit off of their commission.
Commission, okay.
Um, so that was on the Purple Creek house.
Mhm.
Do you want me to
Quite
do
a
the same
roller
thing?
coaster ride, huh?
Yeah. You want me to take you down the roller coaster of the other house?
Sure, let's hear it.
So on Green Valley, so that one had lots of interest. I think because it's priced less. I think we're asking.
Mhm.
I think I started asking at 120. That would
Okay.
have been a 15K assignment, which I knew was, again, I was going to negotiate down, right?
Yeah,
But I put
padding
it
it
out
a
at I
little
put
bit.
it out at
Yeah,
120.
yeah.
Put it out at 120. It was getting interest, but
Mhm.
again, it was like in the low hundreds or some even less than that, because I was pitching as a buy and hold, and there are rental comps that supported that. But again, I guess most of my buyers, they were still wanting it more at a flipper's price.
Mhm.
I guess because of the age of the home or because of the area. It's not really a hot area. It's an older, established neighborhood.
Gotcha.
You know. Um, so anyway, and as we're getting, and as the other one was already assigned to a buyer, the first house, so now it's like the pressure's on to get this one in the same timeline so they can
Right,
both close before they buy the new house, right?
right.
So I already on both properties. I already had pitched it to my contact at New Western, which is a big wholesaling company. They acquire properties and they double close them to their
Yep.
end buyers.
Mhm.
So, and I know some other RESers have probably contacted them.
Mhm.
But they're always fast, or my contact there is always fast, and they'll give you an offer over the phone. Like, they'll say, "Yeah, if you get it to me at this price,
It's a deal.
They,
Yep.
they can't say, yeah, I guarantee. I'm like, they're like, we have buyers that will take this if you
Mhm.
get to me at this price.
Yeah.
So his number was there. That guy was there already. I was trying to get it without having to go through them, of course, because
Mhm.
I'd rather just go to an end buyer and be done with it. But he was still there and checking with me, and eventually I was like, we're getting close. It's been a couple weeks now. I'm not getting it. Even I dropped the price to 115,
Mhm.
and then and then we negotiated. Okay, yeah, we'll give you guys a shot. And the other thing with New Western is they need an option period because they need to bring their buyers to see it. Um, so before they put down any EMD or anything, so that was he wanted 5 days. I told him, well, 3 day option. We'll do 112K. So that'd be a 7K assignment that my partner and I would split.
Mhm.
Um, uh, but I felt good. Like, okay, now these guys, I mean, this is my first time working with them on a deal. Like, well, let's see what they can do, right? Because they're the big behemoth in the space.
Yeah, yeah.
At least in San Antonio, they're all over all
Mhm.
the Facebooks and everything. You always know who these new Western people are.
Yeah.
So like, okay, I felt good. Like these guys should get it done, right?
Mhm.
And we're just looking for certainty at this point. And you got a lot of interest, and then the idea was to have one group showing because
Mhm.
it's seller occupied,
Right.
and the owner, the grandma of the family, she works nights, so
Mhm.
also it was a little tricky getting the right time of day. Uh, but they're very amicable, the seller, to get showings. The first showing came, the buyer was he pretty much told me like my new Western contact, like, yeah, this guy's gonna pretty much take it sight unseen. This is a formality. It's like, okay,
Okay.
great, we got it right, right. But then 24 hours later, no AMD. So just flaked out. Same thing. So another one, like 2 or 3 days. No, the next day, I guess, or within 2 days, we had to extend the option period for them. Long story short, second buyer came, similar thing. Like, yeah, they seemed all gung ho about it, but then when it comes time to put the EMD, they ghosted them. They ghosted us. So then, as a third buyer finally walked it, um, and I was there for all these walkthroughs. I made sure I was
Mhm.
obviously always present,
Yeah.
um, and that presented its own interesting uh, awkwardness when the seller's home. But that's
Yeah.
probably too much for this video. But um, so long story short, third buyer, it took three showings, and finally that person came through. Sent the money to New Western, so New Western then could confirm with us. We finalized that, and that one closed on July 8th, I believe. So that one, once it got that committed buyer, the
Mhm.
closing was fast, and that was still with our title company we had originally opened it with, and they worked fast. No problems from that regard.
Did
Once we
those
found the buyer, we closed quick.
did those buyers ever say why they just decided to not move forward?
Not to me, no.
Okay.
Because again, that was going through New Western, so New
Yeah.
Western has their own agents, that
Mhm.
their own people that they bring their buyers in, so they're all
Right.
competing.
Mhm.
They're all competing within each other to bring their buyer to come buy this one they have under contract, right?
Mhm.
I did come to find out though. So as this was happening, these three showings with the three different buyers that New Western brought, the seller's moving out already. I mean, because we're assuring
Yeah.
them, yeah, we're under contract, we're going to get it sold. She's already moving out. As the house gets emptier, things become more apparent. So the interesting thing, and this could have been the reason why the two other buyers maybe backed out or didn't feel so hung about it. We realized the second bedroom, we were calling a bedroom, didn't have a closet.
Uh-huh.
And the third buyer actually noticed it. I noticed it actually when the house was empty, but then he said it again when he was there. It's like, oh, like, and not like in a super accusatory way, just like noticing, oh, there's no closet in this one. And it's because they had apparently there's only one bathroom in that house. They expanded the bathroom,
Mm,
thereby taking out the closet for that bedroom.
I see.
So now what we thought was a 2-1 that could be put back to a 3-1, you know,
Mhm.
you would have to convert a 3-1, but then add a closet back to the two, which wasn't accounted for. And I don't even know how they would do it. They would have to go back into the bathroom and
Got
or
it.
or just who knows how they're going to do that. So I counted. I was like, whew, I'm glad like he took, because to me we like messed up there because we were, you know, I don't
Yeah,
know legally what the term is, but like I know a lot of buyers, and if it's no closet, it's not a bedroom. So
correct.
to many people,
Mhm.
so we kind of dodged a bullet there. That guy didn't really balk at all about that. He liked the house. You could just
Mhm.
tell he had a more personal. affection for it when he was in there.
Mhm.
Um, so maybe, but perhaps that was why other folks were coming in
I
or
mean, yeah, I
decided
mean,
to.
if they remove the bathroom or, that's why it's always good to check what was on the public record and then just confirm that
Mm.
with them. Say, this is what's permitted, and I don't see it's not matching up. So what's the deal here? Gotta get to the bottom of that as soon as possible. Um, and Yeah, but it sounds like you pulled it all together. It's quite a roller coaster ride. I'm sure your blood was boiling sometimes and blood pressure was going up a few times. How did that feel?
Yeah, and back and forth with my partner,
Mhm.
just just texting every once in a while, like screaming emojis or
Yeah.
like exhausted emojis. Like, when's this gonna happen
Mhm.
again? On back to the first one, the Purple Creek, the 2016 home,
Yeah.
and then like to get it funded, like it closed, and then like it closed on a Friday, which was already late because of the delays of the
Mhm.
title company and having to, whatever their procedure. Um, so then it's like Friday morning, but then it didn't fund by
Mm.
the end of the day, like we kept asking. There's like, yeah, it's coming, but banks have the 3 or 3:30 cutoff, so like you can't see it even if they send it after hours. We're like, so
Yeah.
then we had to go through the whole weekend
Just waiting on pins and needles.
hoping like my contact with the broker, the buyer broker, Marsha assured me that it was in. But I'm like, do you have a receipt that they initiated? Do you have anything? And no, they didn't. So we had to wait that whole weekend,
Mhm.
please don't let there be any other delay, you know, uh, because they were going to close on their new house that like on the Tuesday the following week. And I think they still had to delay it a couple of days
Okay.
just to let the funding actually come through and get
Yeah.
to their account and prove that they had the money, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera. So
Mhm.
so there was a lot of those
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
things. But yeah, but everything that I think, I'm proud of my partnership with with
Mhm.
his my partner, friend,
Mhm.
agent, Brandy, and what she did, and I was able to pitch in when she was not available, and back and forth to kind of just
Mhm.
keep it going. And just and I will say, I mean, to her credit, my partner's credit, I mean, even with the first house, the slow title company, she helped them get the municipal lien situation,
Handled.
proving there weren't no municipal liens on
Mm.
her own. She's like, I'm here in San Antonio. Who's your contact? What do you need? Because this title company from the East Coast was using some third party vendor
Oh,
that was giving
interesting.
them a 10-day estimated window to get this report back. So my partner's like, I'm gonna go there, talk to the guy at the office downtown, and just what do you need from them? And she got it done,
Mhm.
So because she didn't want we didn't want any more delays, so kind of took the bull by the horns,
Yeah, that's what
and
it
and
takes sometimes. It definitely does.
yeah.
Um, so I guess this is what everyone wants to know. What was the actual assignment fee that you guys made as a group, and then you split that 50-50, I'm assuming?
Yeah, 50-50 from the very get-go, and that's one thing, like, just to differentiate this partnership from the other ones I tried. I mean, this was a true, like, from the moment she called me, like, she's like, "This is 50-50." I knew all the information, like,
Mhm.
we're a true partnership, whereas, other attempted deals, some wholesalers, like, don't wanna divulge everything. They're like, "Oh,
Right.
you bring me a buyer, and then I might tell you where we have it at, and then I'll tell you, what the real backstory is, or et cetera,
Mhm.
et cetera." But this was more of a true transparent, from the get-go 50-50 partnership. So we had that agreement, those both agreements signed early on. Um, but yeah, so as far as the numbers are concerned, yes. So on the newer on the well, I'll do the older one first. On Green Valley,
Mhm.
the older home, we split 7K, so 3,500 each.
Nice,
And
nice.
then on the newer home was going to be an 11K total, so divided by 2, 5,500. But we had to eat some of the cost for the seller to not have to pay to close. So it ended up being like 43 and change, or 4,500 each.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, once we saw that the HUD statement, or the final statement that the seller was going to owe, like, pay 3,500 to close, we're like, we can't let them know that, or we can't. That's not going to happen. Like, we can't ask them to pay to close. So we ate some of that cost, and the
Mhm.
broker ate some of that cost. So yeah, 43 ish, 4,300 plus 3,500. So yeah, 7 to 8K
7 to 8K.
combined for me,
Mhm. For
which
you.
was a good feeling.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Um, so since that, anything changed, at home? Like everyone's like, wow, like this is really happening now, Nathan. Like you're doing it. Like, has anything changed? Like, if you feel even a little different internally, like, okay, I've actually closed these other two. You know, anything, change either in your space or internally after closing these two deals?
Yeah, it'll definitely, definitely announce to my inner circle, my family, my brother, my father,
Mhm.
you know, is able to announce that at a family dinner, and I kind of had a little, celebratory moment with
Mhm.
them because they knew I've been doing this for a while. Of course, my wife was happy; she's proud of me, and she
Mhm.
told me so. And uh, in practical terms, now I feel better about our Disney trip in October because now
Right.
I have that kind of taken care of. Um, so that's a good feeling, and yeah, so just the confidence to know that I can get it done,
Mhm.
um, and just the learning experience. I mean, the obstacles that came through the closing process, just learning more, and so yeah, just the confidence of it, I guess, and just feeling good that I can, hopefully repeat the process in the near future.
Mhm.
We're working on a couple other ones that again my partner has much more challenging sounding uh projects, like
Okay.
one's a duplex in a small town on the border of Texas,
Okay.
and another one's like a hostile tenant situation. But there's something to work on at least, and
Mhm.
then looking at my own leads as well,
Mhm.
trying to nurture some off market leads.
Got it. What's the, ultimate long-term goal for you regarding real estate?
Definitely want to have my own rental properties.
Mhm.
You know, properties. Who knows?
Mhm.
To have a little portfolio,
Mhm.
to kind of help me in the retirement and pass something on
Yeah.
to my son, the time comes. That would be my ultimate goal. Kind of just keep plugging away,
Mhm.
first building capital, but then just being able to maintain my own small rental portfolio.
So, next to do on your list is still just try to get some more wholesale deals, maybe do a fix and flip? How's that looking on your horizon?
Yeah, I don't know if I would. Yeah, honestly, yeah, doing my own fix and flip does not really interest me. Definitely more wholesale deals.
Mhm.
And on yeah, so what I want to do again is continue to work with this partner of mine to
Mhm.
do more JV wholesale deals. Um, my schedule really hasn't changed much as far as my day job's concerned, and the demands there,
Mhm.
and I enjoy it honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That work. So I'm not looking to kind of like do a 180 sort of flip on it,
Mhm.
but I would be happy, honestly, just kind of maintaining doing this again. See if I can do
Mhm.
another couple within the next month or two, and just kind of repeat the process, get more experience, and then as uh, my
Mhm.
availability opens,
Mhm.
maybe go after a little bit harder on my own, make some more of my own discovery calls. Once
Mhm.
the my schedule opens up in the summer, um,
Yeah, I mean, closing a
hit
couple
up
more
some more.
deals like this, and then you're pretty close to start picking up some properties, to hold on to. So, not too far off if you can repeat this on a consistent basis. You could technically be there in a couple months. You could say, technically.
Definitely
You know.
the yeah, and I'm hoping I'm going to try to the buyer for the national buyer, the broker
Hmm.
buyer, for example. I had hoped to be able to continue to send them deals, and I have sent a couple that haven't been really great for them, but
Hmm.
I'm hoping to be able to that they could be like my buyer for turnkey deals, in the future for newer properties. That's what they're looking
Hmm.
for. However, I have to consider this whole title company thing.
Yeah.
I need to have another conversation with them to see, if that's normal or just kind of what to expect in the future. Um, but yeah, it's good to know that at least I have that buyer did come through when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to be able to send them more deals.
Well, any kind of last words for anyone who's ever, maybe thinking about either getting into real estate or joining the real estate skills community? Any kind of advice or suggestions you'd like to leave the listeners with?
Do my best. I mean, I definitely still feel like a novice for sure. So in no way am I a guru or someone that can just say
Hmm.
with certainty, do this, do that. But my advice from a personal level would just be to stick at it, stick with it, stay with it, stick with it,
Yeah.
keep plugging away. No matter whatever amount of hours you can do, just don't stop and
Hmm.
don't give up on it. Like I mentioned, I mean, my schedule changed so much and it fluctuates. Um, so go at it any way you can. Always be networking
Hmm.
would be another piece of advice. Local RIAs, Facebook groups, even in
Hmm.
person's always better. But there's several meetups in most, almost every market. Uh, Never stop building your network, even if you don't have a deal in front of you or on your table or on your desk. Like never stop networking with
Hmm.
investors, buyers, wholesalers, uh, people, just people that have more experience than you. Always have your network because then when something does happen, whether it's your cousin calls and says, "Hey, I need to sell my house," or my neighbor's selling his house,
Hmm.
you're not so disconnected that you want to be able to jump on it right away and say, "Oh yeah, I'll take that on." So
Yeah.
always be networking and keep maintaining your buyers list. And I guess the should be another important piece of advice is stay in touch with those people. shoot
Right.
shoot text out to agents that you had a good rapport with.
Hmm.
Shoot text out to the buyers you had a good rapport with, because you never know when it's like right place, right time.
Yeah.
And if they see your text, like, oh yeah, I have something I can work with this guy on.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much again, Nathan, for not just doing the interview but also for sharing those words. And again, we're all super excited for you, and also what you can keep doing and what's in store for you in the future. We can see that your commitment level is spot on. Your professionalism, your willingness to be um, a source of or a resource to other students in the community. It hasn't gone unnoticed. So definitely, we want to
Hmm,
all thank you for that. We all really appreciate you in the community, and we're all super super excited for you to get these deals across the line. And we want to see it happen more and more and more for you. We really do. So, but with that,
thank you
thanks again, and I hope we get to do this again soon. All right, that's the plan.
for sure. Thank you, Peter. It's been a pleasure.
And there you have it. We're all really proud of Nathan and the work he's been putting into it. We've seen him struggle, get ahead. We've seen him really grasp the concepts and really keep moving forward, even during times when, he was probably getting a little frustrated, but he persevered. And that's really the big, big point that he wanted to make there, is to persevere through it. It can be very difficult. It can be very frustrating and even overwhelming sometimes, especially, we've got families, other jobs, as you heard Nathan say. It can all be a little bit too much, it feels like sometimes, right? And then jumping into an industry that you really know nothing about, right? But it can happen. You can make it work. I did it, and Nathan did it too, and so many other students have as well. So we're all really, really proud of him and all the work he's put in. We really love the positive influence and a resource that he has become in the community, helping other students out, and we're so happy to see him get these wins across the line. So if you're interested in learning more about the Real Estate Skills community, head on over to realestateskills.com, send us a message, and we'll get in touch. Till next time, take care.